Welcome to episode 3, Safe Harbors. I'm really looking forward to today's episode. We're going to start off with a presentation of some amazing artwork from the artists who participated in the open call for Safe Harbors and how to create peace within. So today's episode explores the concept of internal safety, your ability to cultivate your own peace, your comfort, and grounding from within. So a safe harbor is not an escape from reality, but more like a sanctuary you build within yourself. Through visualization, art, reflection, sensory grounding, like literally putting your feet down on the ground, you'll learn how to create an inner refuge that helps you return to calm even in moments of chaos. So to begin, let's understand what internal safety is. Safe harbors are internal spaces, so mental, emotional, imaginative, where you feel comforted, grounded, and protected. They're inner sanctuaries that serve as a refuge during stressful moments. So, for example, it might be, taking a moment where you close your eyes when you're super stressed and you just picture yourself sitting on a beach and observing a sunset. Visualize yourself in that place. Take that deep breath and ground yourself and come back feeling safer and less overwhelmed. It's a reset point, really, where you can go and visualize a way to reset your emotions. It's a space that's within you that you can find clarity or reflection or even healing. And it's a reminder that peace is something that you can create. You might find that your safe harbor comes from a memory or a completely imaginary place. Whatever it is, or maybe it's even someone that you think of, somebody that, when you think of this person like your spouse, and you just feel a sense of calm. Safe harbors aren't a place where you go to avoid a situation. They're more a place of nourishment, where you find the emotional strength that you need to go on and deal with the situation. So some examples of things that you can visualize for safe harbors might be a serene garden glowing with soft light, or a cozy room filled with pillows and books and blankets, or a quiet shoreline with gentle waves, or even just floating in abstract space or liminal space. Or it might just be sound, where you visualize sound like rain or wind or a crackling fire. They're all metaphors for emotional steadiness, but they're also a way for us to regulate those emotions and to nurture calm. So why does internal safety matter? So calm amid external chaos is something that helps us to steady ourselves. Even when there's unpredictable things that are going on around us, it helps us self-soothe, it reduces stress and anxiety, and it can help us through difficult moments and build resilience and emotional balance. So some of the practices that we can use to help build those safe harbors is that we can use visualization exercises, we can create mood boards, we can practice mindfulness. But what we're here to talk about today is artistic expression. So if you have a hard time really grasping onto that safe place that you want to go to in your mind, one of the things we can do is we can actually create art. And we can use that art by either printing it, putting it on a phone, putting it on a background, or maybe there's an artwork out there or a scene. I mean, why do we all put these beautiful landscapes as the backgrounds on our computers? It's because they're calming. They're a good source of visualization. It's something we can look at and go, yeah, I wish I was there right now. When we need that moment of serenity, we can just sit there and observe this image. And that's what art's for, is to really help us capture those moments. And that might even just look like a collage or a mishmash of colors that really are calming and soothing to you. Fluid motion, whatever your soul cries out to, this is what we want to put in our art. I'm partial to really minimalist landscapes, watercolors, almost something like where you have a single line across a white sheet of paper with a teeny tiny little black silhouette of a figure standing there in the middle. That to me is the sort of image that I would create for safe harbors. It's a space where I can feel like all by myself, absolute peace, absolute quiet, and the minimalist element where everything is just white around me or a solid color. It's just absolute reduction of noise or interference, and it's just silence. It represents silence. And that's my space. So, what's yours? So I want you to focus today in your artistic expression on painting or drawing your idea of the sanctuary, your idea of like a peaceful place, silence, a place that you can go to that makes you feel calm and allows you to nourish yourself, nurture yourself, ground yourself, and regulate your emotions in a way that you can return to the situation feeling stronger. So let's move on to our meditation, and from there we'll go on to making some art. So today's meditation is for safe harbors or creating peace within. So I'd like you to find a place where you can feel comfortable, and I want you to close your eyes. We're going to take a deep, gentle breath in. Hold it. And let it go. As you let the breath out, I want you to feel your body soften. I want you to melt into your body. Feel your mind begin to settle. Repeat softly after me. I carry peace within me. I carry peace within me. I create safety inside my heart. No matter where I am, I can return to my inner sanctuary. Let these words resonate with you. Feel them opening a calm space within you. And imagine you're entering a safe harbor, a place just for you. Perhaps it's a quiet garden that's green and blooming, or perhaps it's gentle waves rocking against the shore. And you feel the warm light surrounding you like a warm blanket. Let this sanctuary take shape. See the colors, feel the textures, and hear the sounds that bring you peace. Perhaps you're in a space that has very little color and very little sound, and that's what's making you feel safe. This is your inner refuge, your safe harbor, a place that you can return to at any time. Breathe here. Let the calm fill your body, and let the peace soften your heart. Repeat with me. Within me, there is calm. Within me, there is safety. I can always return to this place of peace. Rest in this sanctuary for a few breaths. Allow it to anchor you, to hold you like a warm hug. When you're ready, return to your breath and inhale gently and exhale slowly. Carry this safe harbor within you. Wherever you go, know that you can access this safe place. Today's featured artist is Lord Ip, a visionary physicist turned creator who bridges the worlds of science, technology, and art. With a background in physics and a passion for exploration, his work draws inspiration from studies in philosophy, psychology, nanotechnology, and astronomy. From mastering traditional screen printing by hand to pioneering AI and blockchain-based art, Lord Ip continues to redefine creative expression through innovation and intellect. His groundbreaking piece, Max 4 control system, even reached the lunar surface in 2025, etched onto a nanofiche layer and carried aboard SpaceX's Falcon 9. Lord Ip's works have been exhibited worldwide, including NFT NYC, NFC Lisbon, Beeple's Digital Art Deathmatch, Art Crush Australia, and the Stellar Blockchain Meridian Conference. His art has been showcased in newspapers, across 500 plus billboards in Australia, and in both physical and metaverse exhibitions throughout Europe and beyond. Today, Lord Ip continues to challenge perception through intricate artworks that invite viewers to think deeper about humanity, technology, and the universe itself.
I started my Web3 journey in 2021. Quite quickly, I got involved in the Vortex AI art community. I tried out AI art and I was instantly hooked. Now I suddenly had a way to realize all those internal images I have in my fantasy. The AI engine that became my choice was Midjourney, and I still use that for almost all of my artworks. After a year or so, I felt I wanted to contribute on a deeper level, and I was brought into the team. I have tried to learn as much as possible over the years, mostly by experimenting myself, but also by asking friends and talented artists. I also like doing photography art. IRL, I am a physicist working at an electron accelerator. Troubleshooting the accelerators, solving problems for a living and developing them. I have always been creative, but it wasn't until I got into NFTs that I started doing art for real. When I grew up, my father had a screen printing company. They did everything by hand, and I learned the trade. A safe harbor does not have to be physical. It can be a mental place, where you feel safe and where you can get energy and positivity. In these hectic times and times filled with various hardships and suffering, it is extra important to have a safe harbor. This might be a place from your childhood, a specific shore where you hear the waves gently crashing against the coastline, a river or a creek, or an internal room you reach by going into a certain state of mind. The most important is that you are connected to the place in a profound way and that you can feel safe there. There are so many things pulling us in all different directions. It's a constant flow that has to be filtered for you not to get completely shattered. Filter and focus on what is good for you. Get rid of your energy thieves. Surround yourself with people that give you energy and positivity, and that will help you develop. Find your peers. Art, both in experiencing and in creating, provides a wonderful way to stay in touch with your safe harbor. In a way, I need to be in my safe harbor to create art. If I'm doubting myself, I will have issues creating art. When this happens, I go back to look at earlier accomplishments and artworks, looking at pieces I'm very proud of and talking with friends. That being said, art is also often born from hardships and personal suffering. In that situation, art can be a way to express oneself and vent out some of what is troubling your mind, a way of dealing with things that weighs heavy on your mind.
let's go ahead and create some art. I'm in this week's activity on my Wide Worlds account. So from here you can scroll down and you'll see that we have activities for every episode. So right now we're on episode 3, Safe Harbor. So I'm going to click on that to go into the activity. From here I can go ahead and create some prompts. I have a number of different styles that I've set up here. So I've set up a prompt that we can use. You're welcome to use my prompt or create your own or modify my prompt. So the prompt I'm going to use today is a minimalist scene of a woman in a simple sundress. She stands alone in a calm, minimal beach setting, her hair tied up with loose wisps, moving gently in the breeze. The sand is vast as the beach is enormous, with the water in the distance and visible waves. The scene feels like a safe harbor filled with silence, soft light, and a quiet sense of peace and emotional grounding. So I am getting very poetic in the way that I describe my prompt, and that's okay. I challenge you even to try and do this in the form of poetry and creating a little poem and prompting with the poem. This is an exceptionally great strategy for Midjourney, which is capable of understanding more abstract thought and being able to produce visuals based on more emotional prompting. So I'm going to go ahead and create a few images with these styles. So let's start with a simple one right now with the yellow aerochrome. And I will also try the watercolor and ink. Black and white photography with watercolor stains. This is actually my original style. I used to do a lot of black and white photography. That was my thing. And then I evolved into watercolor. And then one day I had the idea of actually staining my photos with my watercolors. And so I used to paint my black and whites. And so this style is built off of my original style of how I used to create art. So I'm going to hit create on that one. And let's see, what else do we want to try? I'm going to try the muted oils as well. So here's my first one that came back in the aerochrome. Now aerochrome is a photography technique. This particular style will give you really unusual colors and will also in some cases make stuff look infrared. This one here, I can see her head looks weird, so let's take a look at this one. Really like this a lot. This one here is based on one of my watercolor styles that I use, watercolor and ink. I do a lot of watercolor where I only do one or two colors. So this is based off sort of like my blues and tans where I use, maybe just some subtle pink as well. And it's very minimalist in style. So those were some that I trained, and I love this. Of course, it's my style, so of course I love it. And see this one here as well. Gorgeous. Love it. So my black and white photography with the watercolor staining on it, what we get is a nice black and white photo with certain parts of the photo getting highlighted in a colorful stain. And my muted oils, while I like it, the figure is not facing the camera, so I might need to modify and give a little bit more instruction. So this style here is very coarse sort of painting style. Lots of palette knife, lots of big strokes, lots of just rough outlines as opposed to getting detailed and defined. And this, again, this is one of my acrylic painting styles that I like to create in. Now the color palette on this particular style is a bit muted, and I might put one in for a future episode where there's more variety in the color. But this one here is more like the whites, the blues, the browns, the oranges, and there might be a little hint of green that comes in from time to time. The other thing I would like to challenge you to do is when you do come up with the piece that you like, either use that piece for journaling and journal how the artwork made you feel, how you came about its creation, or another thing you can do is, since I already mentioned poetry, is write a poem to accompany your artwork, which is something I actually really love to do. And I find that in the past year, that's actually been a direction that I've been taking. I get to combine both the language I used within my prompt, the visuals, the way it made me feel, the message I want to convey, and I can sort of bring everything together. And if you want to use AI to guide you and help you, what I would do is add the photo and say ChatGPT, express what it is that you were trying to accomplish when you were creating this scene, and write a little bit of a narrative about how you want your poem to go. Doesn't have to be in the form of poetry. Work as a collaborator with AI to be able to get that final piece put together. Um, One of the things I like to do is to say no rhyming. You can go with rhyming poetry, but I tend to prefer more of a spoken word kind of feel to my poetry. Or maybe you want a haiku. I do a lot of haikus as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can approach it. Or if there's another style of poetry that you like, then prompt for that type of poetry. So I hope you enjoyed creating art with me today, and I look forward to seeing what you create. I invite you to come to our space on Friday where we're going to talk about this topic. And if you have any artwork that you'd like to share, I encourage you to share it, although it's not required. Creating art for art therapy can be deeply personal, so it's up to you whether or not you want to share that art. Thanks for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this episode. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe and the notification bell so you're kept up to date with new releases. If you'd like to support art therapy and keep this content free, I'd greatly appreciate it. You can do that by joining me on Patreon, which will be linked in the comments below. Patreon members get access to additional resources, guides, ebooks, prompts, and even the opportunity to work with me one-on-one. Don't forget, we'll also have a free live session on Hey Peers every Friday. I'll put the link for that below as well, and you can join us there to talk about AI prompting or your traditional art, share your art, talk about how this journey is for you, and share your experience of healing through art. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.